Hey everyone, and welcome to one of the first official GTA 6 videos here on the channel. Today we're going to be reviewing and breaking down the reveal trailer that came out yesterday. It was of course supposed to release today, but long story short, it was leaked yesterday, so they just decided to release it then. But let's go ahead and break this down frame by frame, shall we? So the very opening shot of the trailer, we right away see just how vibrant the colors of the sunrise and sunsets are going to be. In the foreground, there are some vehicles that we can make out. This first one looks to be a bobcat pulling a boat. Then we have a variant of the tour bus, and behind that, a speedo van. And aside from that, it's kind of hard to make out any other vehicle here, but we also know that the Patriot beer brand is going to make a return from the truck advertisement there. If you remember, we have the Patriot beer hat as a clothing option in GTA Online. That's where that comes from. In the background of the shot, over to the left, we see the Vice City skyline, and over on the right-hand side, we see the prison with the different guard towers, which seems to be larger than GTA 5's prison. The very next scene, we see our first main protagonist, Lucia, who is inside of that prison, and you can notice just how much better the character models are here. They are so much more detailed and lifelike, which will be a recurring theme throughout this trailer. There's also a photo on the wall next to the bed, but it's too blurry to tell if that's actually of any significance to her or not. Maybe it's a picture of her family. I'm not sure. Here, Lucia is with either a prison counselor or parole officer named Stephanie. She asks Lucia if she knows why she's here, and Lucy responds with, "I guess it was the weather." Just kidding, she says it was bad luck. We then transfer to a panning shot of the ocean, starting with this yacht here, which is much smaller than the yacht we have in GTA Online. However, it's actually moving. Well, you can't really tell it's moving from the screenshot, but it is moving, so we'll likely be able to drive yachts ourselves now. This shot is absolutely stunning. This is our first clear view of Vice City within the state of Leonida, which is the game's name for Florida, and it looks massive. There are so many tall buildings here, many more than GTA 5 has. Towards the bottom of the screen, you'll notice some birds flying, showing some wildlife. The beach looks packed with tons of detail as well, which we will see more later into this video. Towards the top of the screen, we see a helicopter, which looks to be based on the Maverick helicopter that we have currently. And in the upper right, there's a Dodo seaplane dragging a banner that says 919, why 69 when you can 919? So just some of that classic Rockstar humor on display. Here's a shot of one of the buildings in Vice City close up, and honestly, if you didn't tell me this was a video game, you could really fool me into thinking this was an actual picture of a building in real-life Miami. That's how good these visuals are. Transitioning from Vice City, we are now in the Everglades on an airboat. The airboats were a part of the leaks a while back, so we knew they were going to be a part of this game one way or another. And I get a lot of Red Dead Redemption 2 vibes from this image, not only from the foliage itself, but from the lighting. And you're going to see me compare this to RDR2 quite a lot throughout this video, and it's not a bad thing by any means. I consider RDR2 to be one of the best looking games of all time, so if they're taking inspiration from it, at least in the graphics department, then that's always going to be a good thing. Another wildlife shot here, you obviously notice the flamingos flying about, but there's also an alligator in the bottom left. This area is very reminiscent of the swamps outside of Saint Denis in RDR2. But one thing about this scene that blows me away is just how big and open this entire landscape is. There is not a single building you can see in this shot, it's all nature. And even in the distance, you still see nothing but trees and open landscape. And one last thing I want to mention here is the ray tracing. It looks like this scene does have ray traced reflections active, as you can see the individual flamingos in the water's reflection. So I said we were going to see the beach up close later. Well, here that is. It looks way more like a real-life beach would with the amount of activity going on here. Just comparing it to GTA 5's trailer, look at the difference. This is GTA 5's beach, and this is GTA 6's beach. That is a 2-generation gap right there. Incredible. Something you can really notice in this screenshot is just how much more lifelike the NPC models are too. Not only do I not see any duplicate NPCs in terms of clothing, but their body styles in general are also different from one another. Some are more on the heavier side, some are more muscular, like the guy walking his chihuahua there, and just the activities being done too, like this guy spraying sunscreen on this woman, or this guy trying to get some free ass pics. They're doing other things aside from just standing around or sitting down. Hopefully this isn't just a trailer thing and the beaches are like this in-game as well, because this would surely be a very fun place to go strolling around with my rhino, walking my dog. 2 vehicles are spotted in this shot, at least ones we can make out. This one is the Super Velito. It's the helicopter that you may have on your yacht in GTA Online. And over here we have the Sea Sparrow making a return, the one that you can land on the water. Here we have some boats driving along next to the docks area of Vice City. There is a cargo ship like the one on GTA 5's map as well. It'll be interesting to see what kind of missions take place there. Hopefully not ones where we have to move crates with the crane like in GTA 5. If you look closely at this part, you can notice that is Jason and Lucia in the red car in the front, and the person in the Grotti Furious supercar looks to be filming them. Perhaps they are doing a street race of some kind, I'm not really sure. Now we see some sweet looking vehicles. First up, the green car on the right side. This is actually a new variant of the Chrysler 300, also called the PMP 700. We will see this car show up later as well, but that looks awesome. It's also got some cool rims on there, so car customization will be coming back in a big way in GTA 6. The car behind that one looks to be the Buccaneer Custom with how low it sits. And in front of the Buccaneer, this is another Donk variant. It looks a bit different from the current faction Donk we have now, so maybe it's a different version of the faction Donk. On the left-hand side, the blue car is the Albany Primo, and then behind that, that's the Vapid Chino. Those are currently cars we have in GTA 5. And front and center, that is the Granger 3600 LX SUV. A few more frames later, a bike is revealed as well as the Enos Jubilee, and I can't tell if that bike is new. To me, it does look new. Towards the top of the screen, that does look like a Police Maverick helicopter. And to the far left, that appears to be a new Obey vehicle of some sort. Moving on, we get to a scene at a shoe store that might be called Make It Rain Mondays, or perhaps that's some sort of special they have going on. Yeah, there's a lot more going on here than your regular old vanilla unicorn in GTA 5, that's for sure. Not only are there way more NPCs in general in the place, but there's dollar bills being thrown around, ass being both horizontally and vertically shuffled, the whole 9 yards. This guy seems to have a lot more detail put into him than some other NPCs, so I wonder if he's going to be a major character within the game, or perhaps Rockstar really did just go into that much detail when designing the NPCs. And now we get to probably my favorite shot of the trailer, dusk in Vice City. The sun has just set and all the building lights are now on, and I just can't get over how realistic this looks. The first thing that drew my attention was the sky and the clouds. It looks so much like RDR2 when the sun sets, just those dark clouds with the yellowish orange glow on the skyline. There's also a few vehicles in this shot. Driving down the road is a Banshee. Parked in the left-hand parking lot is the Yuga Classic, the Bobcat, and possibly a Bravado Bison. The boating activity here is also quite astounding. There's a lot more activity going on than GTA 5. Just on the left-hand side alone, there's like 8 boats. And we even have a massive yacht on the right side, which is moving, not stationary. Then we go right to another beautiful nighttime scene on Ocean Drive. We see the Ocean View Hotel down the street. And this is just going to be a straight vibe to drive down at nighttime with all the extravagant lighting going on. There's tons of NPC activity and traffic here to make it feel like an actual city. This dude sitting down has like a freaking iguana on his shoulder. And there are also a lot of cars from GTA 5 in the scene that are returning. Starting from the front, going back, the Comet S2 Cabrio, the Cheetah Classic, the Gauntlet Hellfire, a green supercar which I believe is actually new. It doesn't look like we have that one in GTA 5 right now. The red car is the Carbon Azar, the Shafter, the Coquette D10, Obey Tailgater. I think that's the Rebla GTS, and another Gauntlet Hellfire, I think. Those two are kind of hard to make out though, being in the far back. Here's another club scene. Again, lots of NPC variety here. It's kind of too dark to make out any other significant details though, but the interior itself looks cool to explore. It definitely feels like there's going to be a lot more interiors to go roam around in. This is a nice shot of the Florida Keys, or Leonida Keys, and the massive long stretches of roads that connect them. These are going to be very fun to explore and just like drag race down, because they're just long straight roads. But I can only hope that we don't have to drive cargo across them in GTA Online ever, because that would be a disaster. At the top of the screen, there's a white blimp that kind of blends in. The Dodo seaplane is seen once again here. And there are actually cargo ships that move, unlike in GTA 5 where all the cargo ships were stationary. So I wonder if we can rob these as an activity in free mode. A lot of people have said that this is Lucia. I personally don't think it is. I think this is just another NPC. You guys can, of course, let me know your thoughts down below. But yeah, once again, another very nice view of the city here in the background as well. In GTA 5, we had the Vinewood sign. This one, we have the Vice City sign. Just the camera cut off the city part, I would imagine. And this one really shows off the lighting as the sun rises. Again, very much like RDR2. Social media parodies will likely play a big part in GTA 6. This is some sort of in-game parody of Instagram or TikTok with short clips. The first one from Dad Bod Squad about him taking all the women. Then from Official Poach trying to get an alligator out of someone's pool. And then we got some more twerking here. Someone called the Department of Transport on this dump truck. Just a lot of things you'd see said on social media. Street takeovers will also be in GTA 6, and I'm wondering if these will be dynamic, where if we're just driving around at nighttime, we can randomly encounter a bunch of NPCs partaking in this. Some obvious cars in this image are the Ubermax Cypher in white on the right there, and the Dominator ASP on the other side, also in white. After that, there's some more in-game social media posts, some CCTV footage of an alligator that enters a convenience store, cop body cam footage of them raiding someplace, Planet Leonida Man clearly making fun of the whole Florida Man meme. This guy's running from the police with all his jiggle flowing in the wind, just showing a bunch of wacky, crazy stuff going on. We can actually see some of the road signs in this one. It's hard to read, but the first one says Vice Beaches, Port VC/Keys, and the one next to it reads Vice City International Airport, and I think Kelly County. I want you guys to pay attention to the side mirror in this scene because it looks like the mirrors will be functional in GTA 6 unlike GTA 5. Look at how the side mirror reflects the foliage and the car itself as we keep going through the screenshots. To me, it looks like the mirrors are fully functional here. Once again, they're showing off the interesting individuals that can be found. This guy just watering the grass, letting his buns toast in the sun at the same time. There's lots of different cultures on display throughout the trailer, like this Thrillabilly Mud Club thing. Lots of monster trucks showing off and off-road vehicles. That looks like the Liberator on the right side, but a pickup version of it. And they even got the Karen with two hammers parody going on. We are going to be getting some new cop car variants, which is something that I wanted so bad in GTA 5 or one of the online DLCs. But I'm glad that at least it's happening in GTA 6. So there's one based on a Ford Crown Victoria. Then behind it, that's a police car based on the Ford Explorer. Followed by what is our first real good look at Jason, the second protagonist. He's with Lucia in the car, which right ahead proves that they are indeed a couple or they're working together. Some more cop car variants are found here. There's two cop car variants of the Gauntlet Hellfire, and Weasel News is confirmed to be coming back. If you were wondering what this scene says, I typed it into Google Translate, and it reads, "Confession written in ink for tattoos. A tattoo on the neck that gave away himself. Key to the conviction of a Leonida man." It's probably not exactly like that. Usually Google Translate kind of messes up the grammar, but that's close enough. The Sanchez will be making a return. The headlight clearly gives it away there. There's multiple being shown off here. And possibly a new four-wheeler that can wheelie because the Street Blazer does not look like that. But that leads into a scene with even more police cars. There's two variants of police interceptors in white. The one near the center of the screen is a police variant of the Buffalo STX. Also near the bottom middle, there's a new variant of the Comet Retro, which seems to have an alternate style of back than the one we have now. And up top, there's another blue and white Banshee. So remember when I mentioned the PMP 700, that green car? This is where we get that confirmation. The license plate on the green car says PMP, and next to the right taillight, very faintly you can read the number 700. So this is the successor to the PMP 600, the PMP 700, and I definitely get a lot of Midnight Club vibes from the scene in particular. I have a feeling street racing is going to be a pretty big part of this game. Bringing it back to Jason and Lucia now, they're going to rob what looks like a convenience store. And the store itself, if you look at the shelves of individual items, it's extremely detailed. Way more detailed than any game I have played. And they then get away in a Declasse Tulip muscle car with what looks like a new Dubsta in the background there, along with a gun and pawn shop. So gun stores are coming back, obviously. And the trailer ends with two scenes of the protagonists. Once again, one more intimate scene and another of them robbing. This could be taking place before the previous scene because the same Tulip is in the background here. But if it wasn't already proof enough that they are a couple, I think those last two scenes really bring that point home. The release date for this game is sometime in 2025. Based on Take-Two's financial reports, I would expect it in the earlier half of 2025, probably between March and May, sometime around there. And this is going to hurt the PC players out there, but it will only be launching on Xbox Series consoles as well as the PS5, so no last gen or no PC, at least for the current launch window. I'm sure eventually down the line it will come to PC just like with all Rockstar titles, but you're probably going to be waiting at least a year after it's been available on the Series X and PS5. I also want to go over the official artwork they released. You can see Lucia is wearing an ankle monitor, which might mean that she's out of prison on parole. However, that same ankle monitor isn't seen anywhere else in the trailer from what I saw, so I'm a little confused on that, but I'm sure as we get more and more trailers, we will learn more about the characters and the overall story. Anyways, that is going to wrap up my breakdown of the GTA 6 trailer. I tried to go over as much as I could. If I did miss something, feel free to comment it down below. And if you enjoyed the video or found it helpful, feel free to leave a like as well as subscribe to my channel for more GTA 6 and GTA Online content. I also want to give a huge shout out to all my channel members for your support. If you'd like to become a member for some exclusive perks, you can either use the join button or the link that's down in the description. And as always, thanks for watching and have a great day.